I record this podcast on Gadigal country. I'd like to pay my respect to the traditional custodians.
And I'm recording on Wurundjeri country, part of the Kulin Nation. Let's go.
I know you're gonna dig this.
It's like I've been given like an extra sprinkle of something.
You got layers.
Yeah, I got layers.
I was just thinking, I'm like, we're just such beautiful storytellers.
You're making a lot of sense today, girl. No, I'm done.
Let's jump into it, honest to God. Matty, you're back.
Yes, I'm back. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be back home. But also, like, I've already booked my next trip. Like, Euro Summer 2.0 is happening.
Wait, did you not have enough of it in the first trip, or you were like, I need to go back because there's unfinished business?
There is unfinished business. I didn't see enough places. I mean, look, when I explain the holiday to you, you're going to be thinking like, didn't you just like spend 5 weeks going to like 5 different countries and having the time of your life? Like, isn't that enough? Some would say
Which countries did you go to? Like,
okay. So I left Sydney and I went to Paris, which I fell in love with. I mean, Paris to me is just like postcard after postcard after postcard, every corner,
I've heard
every
it was
street.
dirty. Is it really?
It depends where you're at.
Okay, so it's depending on location. Like that's just people's interpretation.
If you stay in the 2nd or the 9th, I feel like that's where we stayed. It's like beautiful. It's like the Paddington, the Surrey Hills, the inner city vibes, and the you know luxurious shops and beautiful restaurants. And Paris for me is sitting with a glass of rosé, with an amazing meal, facing the street and judging everyone who's walking past.
Oh, literally. And like
just people watching. It's the best.
People watching is the best because when you're in another country, like people, like everyone is speaking a different language, and you're like, you don't know if they're tourists or locals, and I think like that's the best game to play.
Oh,
do you think,
it is so
do you
good.
think
And you
they're
make up
locals?
stories.
100%.
What are they doing
First
together?
date. Yeah.
But I had such a good time in Paris because I realised that we're quite conservative in this country when it comes to self-expression. And, being overseas and being in Europe, there's such a vibrancy to people's output of who they are. And to me, it was so inspiring because I felt like everything that I was doing was elevated, like the things that I was wearing, the places that I was going to eat, even the food that I was eating. It's just like everything just felt so much nicer. So I'm going back. I am going back with a good friend, Ollie. When I came back a week ago, he caught up with me for dinner and he said, I really want to go to Europe in September. I said, okay, I'm coming. 2.0. He didn't have anyone to go with. So he's so detailed and meticulous though that within a week he's created an Excel spreadsheet, a budget, and like each location.
Sounds like me.
Oh my gosh, he sent it to me last night and I'm like, wow, like this is what the rich people do.
Has he been over there before?
He has, but when he was younger. So and with family, so very different. But it was 5 weeks, of pure joy for me. I saw Beyoncé twice. That was a moment that
I'm
never
so jealous.
Yeah, I'll never forget that moment. It was unreal. The second time was so much better than the first, and Jay-Z came out and performed with her, which was like, insane. The crowd went crazy.
Is that the highlight then? Like, because that's obviously why you went to Europe in the first place, was to see Beyoncé.
But Beyoncé, the tour is everything. I was thinking about going to Vegas next week for the last show, but I'm like, okay, just hold on to your pennies, bro. Like, stop spending money.
I know. Was that the hardest thing though, being on holiday? Is just like
so expensive.
It's so expensive. Hey,
everything is double.
Okay, so like, what's a random meal like?
Well, you can do it on the cheap, especially in the Greek islands or in Croatia. But like, you get to Paris or London, the pound is basically double everything here.
Yeah.
So I got a haircut and it cost me $150.
Oh
Australian.
my God!
And for a men's haircut, that is insane. I mean, you go for a steak, and we were looking for a cheap steak after going to see a show one night in London, and a cheap steak in London is about 50 Australian dollars. That's a cheap steak. Yeah. So
it doesn't really taste good. It's just
it's a small portion. Yeah, it's not the best cut. It's a small portion. You don't get any sides with it. That's just the steak. And
it's chewy.
It's chewy, But look, you go with that in mind. You know that everything is more expensive. I always think, wouldn't it be great if you were from Europe or America coming to Australia? Because it's like 50% off everything.
Oh, I know. And I think that's why people move as well. Like, I felt like that when I was in New York. I was like, oh my God, this is so expensive. But how did you feel? This is my question in terms of like, how did you feel being in Europe or like being you went to London, right? No, you went. Yeah. How did you feel about being in London? Like,
well,
was that a bit weird?
Well, look, I feel like I've been to London before, but this trip, the key word that I had in my mind was to be present. So I saw everything this time.
Yeah,
you know? Okay. I was really present in the moment, and I felt like I experienced Europe completely differently to how I experienced it 10 years ago. And so I went to Paris, I went to London, I went to Italy, so Rome, the Amalfi Coast, Croatia, Dubrovnik, and then I went across to Greece, went to Athens, Mykonos, back to Paris, extended my trip for I know. I extended my trip for an extra week. I had a friend fly over, Zipporah, you know, Zippy.
Yeah.
I called her 2 weeks into the holiday and I was like, girl, can you come and just like spend 2 weeks with me? She was like, let me try and get time off work. She got time off work. She flew over and we had the last 2 weeks together. Denny went home at the end of week 4 on the planned, return flight. And I extended an extra week and stayed with Zippy and we had the time of our life.
Oh my God.
So,
I'm sorry, I didn't
get the unreal.
I didn't get the call up, but
you're busy. You're busy. You're planning.
You knew that as well.
You're planning your trips, you know.
I know. I have to. I'm so envious. I'm like, I want to be on that September trip.
Yeah.
I know. And I want to go to New Zealand and all this sort of stuff. Okay, but let's talk about Beyonce and how that first experience was like everything that you dreamed of. Was it 20 times more than you expected? Like, what did she give you eye contact? Like,
yeah. I mean, multiple times. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Linda.
How did you get up to the front?
Okay, so my tickets that I bought when she was first putting the concert on sale were so expensive. I'm talking like $1,500 a pop for a ticket. I know.
Oh my God, That's like a small loan. Jesus Christ.
And so I bought the VIP tickets, which meant that you'd basically be on the barricade in this VIP pit. But unfortunately, like the VIP experience wasn't great. And it saddens me to speak about Beyonce and her team like this, but I had to get to the venue at 2 p.m. She wasn't on stage until 8, so that is 6 hours before she comes on, right? It's like a huge wait to get your VIP merch and your bag, and you sort of just shuffle through like cattle. Honestly, you're in these lines until about 4 p.m. So it's about 2 hours you're in these lines. And then you get into the venue around 4:35 p.m. and then you're waiting for 3 hours in the venue. So as much as it was, marketed as this incredible VIP experience, the VIP side of things, it really wasn't there. I mean, you got in early and you got a really great vantage point, but the stage was so high. And me as a tall person, I still couldn't see her some of the night. So I've paid this much money and I couldn't see her and I'm front row. It was like really, honestly disappointing to pay that much money and not get the experience that I thought I would. But the second time in Paris, was seated like the front row of the stadium, and I got to see everything. And
seated? You ain't sitting. Yeah. So why are they?
Well, the thing is, I was front row, so like of the seats, and that was such a better experience. Got to see everything, got to see the stage, got to see the LED floor. You sort of have to be a little bit raised to experience Cowboy Carter to its fullest because the stage is such a big part of it. So when you're in VIP and you're looking up, you don't get to see the LED stage because your view is underneath. So look, I had the best time. Honestly, it was almost like a religious experience the second time. I remember like I was in this moment where she was singing this song, which is called Two Hands to Heaven. And I felt like I was just going to burst out in tears. Aww. Like it was euphoric for me. So yes, it was amazing the second time. And the show I would see again if I could, but I'm not willing to go to Vegas and pay all that money again. But I'll see her again one day. So yeah, it was definitely a highlight. And you won't believe this.
What?
But her makeup artist follows me on Instagram. His name's Rachael. And I went to dinner with him.
Oh, my God.
I went to dinner with her makeup artist, Rachael, who does Kim K's makeup and Beyonce's.
How was that?
It was amazing. We were messaging on Instagram, and it was in the last week while I was in Paris. And
oh, my God.
He was like, let's catch up. So we went and got some drinks at a bar. And then he was like, let me see if Neil's available, who's her hairstylist. And so it's Neil's 60th birthday, and we end up, the four of us, me, Zipporah, Rachael, and Neil, at dinner celebrating Neil's 60th birthday. It was insane. Like getting all the stories about Beyonce, behind the scenes. And
oh my God, you're in Beyonce's team.
I know. And like he's worked for her for 7 years and,
oh my God.
I heard such amazing stories about her and how compassionate and generous she is. You know, in COVID, he had family members pass away and Beyoncé looked after everything, you know, and there were so many stories that I don't want to share, but she's one of the most generous people.
You can't not share, share with our followers. This is the biggest, not gossip, but like insight you can ever imagine.
I know.
You're in the team right now. Like, you're an insider. You're
And so we
detective.
became friends and we've been messaging and he was like, you know, whenever you're in LA, let's catch up. And he was just such a nice guy. I learned a lot from him in like the few hours we were together. And he's, you know, he's one of Kim K's makeup artists. Yeah, he's good looking. Yeah.
What is he like? How would you describe him? Like
Latino.
Okay, Latino.
And yeah, beautiful. He has his own makeup line called Rachael Beauty.
That's so nice.
Yeah, he's got a perfume coming out that he showed me. He brought like a little sample, and yeah, we had the best time. And he even invited me, like, because the dinner ended at like midnight, and then he's like, I'm gonna go and have this meeting with someone at midnight about my perfume. And so he was going to talk to like this guy who had to like to discuss like the design of the bottle and stuff. And then at 2:00, he's like, "Where are you? Come to this Louis Vuitton fashion after party." I'm like, I've got a flight tomorrow morning. I can't. But like
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah,
oh my god.
Booty call without the booty call.
Literally without the booty. Just the call.
I was at home and like Zipporah and I were packing our bags and I was like, should we go? She's like, look where it is. It was like 10 minutes away from our hotel. And I was like, oh, I would have to get dressed. I would have to look nice. It was the Louis Vuitton after party. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, and people don't start partying in Paris until 1 a.m. So you have dinner at 10. And then
what, you just roll into the next morning? Like,
well, the thing is 1 until 6.
Oh my God, that is not.
That is normal. That is so normal in Europe, yeah. And so if you go to a club before midnight, it's empty.
That's so weird,
isn't it? So you don't go to dinner. The sun doesn't go down until 10:30.
So you go to bed at 6, and then what time are you waking up?
No one's waking up early in Europe. Australia, the culture is wake up at 5 a.m, go for a run, you know, get your job done, be home by 5, and then relax. It's like you have a siesta at 4. You sleep until 6, you get up, you go to dinner at like 9. The sun doesn't go down until 10:30, so it still feels like day. Their 10:30 is like our 7. And then by midnight, you finish dinner and then you sort of trickle on to the bars. And so if you go out, if you're at home and then you think, oh, it's midnight, better get out, and you go to a club, honestly, it's going to be empty.
That is so baffling to me. Just also,
I know.
like,
but that's why they have the siesta in the afternoon. They're sleeping. They're getting their energy. They're ready to go.
Like, I just feel like my circadian rhythm would just be like all over the place.
Yeah, you got to.
I'd be like eating at 12, eating at 8 o'clock. Absolutely not. I'm in bed by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know, right? And so, like, if you go and you have dinner at 6 or 7 or 8, everyone knows you're a foreigner because the restaurants are basically empty.
Oh, okay. So that's like, that's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And how's your foot? How did you hobble around and get on the dance floor?
Well, they called me Limpy Lohan.
You are Limpy. That's your new name?
Limpy Lohan. And look, I have to get a CT scan this week.
It?
I was limping around for 5 weeks, but it
you
didn't.
You need a little pimp stick.
Girl, I needed more than that. I had all the drugs in the world, like, not all the drugs, but like Panadol and Nurofen.
All the prescribed drugs.
Yeah, all the legal drugs. And I just popped the pills and kept on walking. Like I was 20,000 steps a day limping around Europe. It was.
Bless you. Yeah. That would honestly, injured on a holiday is probably the worst. And especially on the cobblestones. Like you can imagine.
I know. Like, there's no stability. My ankle's going like this.
Literally. Like I always see videos of girls like walking on the cobblestones in like little kitten heels or like heels, and I'm like, absolutely not. I'm wearing
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But no, it was the trip of my life.
Like, low light, highlight. There we go.
Oh, low light. I think.
Not that we have to. If you don't feel like there was any type of low light. I mean, low light would be your foot.
Yeah, low light, limping around, Limpy Lohan. I think my highlight was really sticking to that idea of being present and seeing the cities and getting out and doing touristy things and really making the most of my time. Like I didn't really sleep in. I was very strategic about what nights I went out to the club late, you know. So I felt very, one of the things that I've realised is that growing up in Australia, we have no sense of freedom in the ocean. You go to Europe and you jump in the ocean, there's no sharks there. So there's the agency, which basically they've never recorded a great white there. There's no big sharks that, have attacked humans in over 100 years. So you jump off the boat, you're in the ocean, and that sense of freedom is unreal. There's no fear. So for me, that was
Do you have a fear of sharks?
Oh, yeah. I'm not jumping off a boat in Sydney Harbour. I'm not spending too much time in the water at Bondi. Like, whenever I'm in the ocean...
I was just kayaking in the Sydney Harbour yesterday.
Kayaking is fine. I mean, you got protection, but...
What, you got an oar? Be like...
Get the fuck out of me. But seriously, jumping in, the ocean off a yacht, it was just a private yacht for Danny and I that I hired, and It was like a dream. It was like, wow, this is what freedom feels like no fear in the ocean. I love that.
That's so bougie.
Yeah, it was
so bougie.
It was so cool. Yeah, I felt very bougie. I felt like I was living my best life.
Yeah, were you guys role playing?
The thing is, Danny is so simple.
Yeah,
Danny's.
How did he love his holiday?
He loved it, but he's like, Denny is someone who would prefer to go to Southeast Asia, maybe even Thailand or Bali or an Asian continent, live really chill in a villa that you don't have to pay much money. And I like the finer things in life, and I'm not ashamed to admit that now.
Of course.
Overseas,
you deserve it. You've worked hard for it.
Yeah, I was eating the best food, getting transfers everywhere. I just really lived it up. And I felt I've been so ashamed to be oh no, I like being bougie, but fuck that. That is something that is supposed...
We are bougie blackfellas, and that is so okay to
It's
own.
Okay. And I got to a point in my life where I can be bougie.
Yes.
I'm yes.
Inspired to be that. Why? All these other mob can have it. Why can't we have it?
Yeah,
So,
I think that's the thing. People have tried
guilty.
to make us feel like we shouldn't be bougie because we're blackfellas.
Yeah, you should be humble.
Because it's superficial. Humble. You know what? It ain't superficial. You know what it is? It is amazing when you're sitting there eating lobster and jumping off a yacht and eating the best and drinking the best champagne and the best rosé. I'm not going to be ashamed of that anymore. I'm
I think you know what? It's you've planned this holiday. You
That's
worked
right.
up to it. You knew how much you were spending. You knew how much money you were taking away for this particular trip. It's not like you're doing that every day. This is
the budget did not budget though.
Oh.
I spent $45,000. Girl.
My God!
It was a lot.
I can't talk. I literally bought a car for 50.
Yeah.
So no,
I know. Yeah. So I'm I just went all out, but I deserved it. It was my 30th holiday trip. And
exactly. Happy birthday for your 30th. I'm glad. I'm really proud of you for going and just doing what you wanted to do and how you... I felt the same thing with New York, so I can understand 100%.
So what did you get up to while I was away?
Well, I finished my teeth.
Okay. Oh, yes.
My
beautiful.
teeth are done.
Are they whitened as well?
Yeah.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah. I whitened no Invisalign. I'm done.
Great.
I feel so good. I really enjoy my smile. Thank you so much to Dental Boutique.
Yes. I've got 3 more retainers left, and then
You're
some
done.
little fixing moments of making everything symmetrical, and then I'm done.
Yeah, honestly, work has been really keeping me busy. I have done so much travel the last couple of weeks and whilst you're away. So my head down, bum up.
Yeah.
Just been enjoying obviously time with Mim, having, time coming kind of back and forth to Sydney.
Yeah.
But I'm, planning a holiday. Hopefully, I would really like to go somewhere where I can literally go out to the beach and be stark naked and just tan my anus.
Where is that? Isn't that somewhere in WA?
Literally, I'm at that point where I just want to sun the moon.
Sun the moon? You mean moon the sun?
Moon the sun. That's...
So what, you're going to be in
I was getting really sun the moon, moon the sun,
moon the sun,
really.
Yeah. So what, have you gone to a naked beach before?
This is such a funny story, but I have, with an ex-partner of mine, been on an deserted island because we helicoptered there. Obviously, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
But that was the only time I've ever been naked on a beach.
Oh, was it nice?
It was so free, like you said.
Yeah.
Freedom, but the only thing there was all these, when we came into this stupid island, there was all these, what they refer to as nervous sharks.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's like hundreds of them. So if you swim in the ocean, they come up real close. So you couldn't really swim. But being free on an island naked was quite fun.
That's a dream.
That's exactly what I want for my holiday. I'm like, send me to the island. I want to be. I want to be an island girl.
Island girl.
So yeah.
You know, I've only been to a nude beach a couple of times, but you know, I've never been nude. You know why?
Why?
Because unfortunately, I'm a grower, not a shower, and I feel like it's false advertisement because it looks smaller. I'm like, it's so.
I literally thought you were going to say the opposite, where it's like, I'm going to be just like imagine just walking around with a heart on.
Sometimes I look in the mirror when I'm flaccid and I'm like, that is so disappointing. Like, it's such a nice buru, but it doesn't look like it gets there.
Oh, you know? Don't even. I've seen you in your Speedos.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like.
You get a little looks.
I would never go naked because it's false advertisement. Like,
don't even.
I'm selling myself short.
Yeah. Oh my God, the other day, I don't know if this will be on the pod, maybe not, but like Mim she's like watched porn, but she's never seen like a flaccid cock. And I was like, what do you mean you've never seen this? Like, because she's obviously never slept with a dude.
Most of them are really ugly.
Well, that's what I said to her. I was like, look, I'm not going to lie. Like, porn definitely gives you the wrong idea of what a cock looks like. And I was like, do you want to see what a soft cock looks like? And so me, her, and like a friend of ours were like literally looking at flaccid dicks, and it was not a turn on. I'm not going to lie. It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
I've even slept with men and I found it fucking traumatizing.
Yeah. Like a flaccid penis isn't anything. But you know what? I must say, and I'm not like blowing smoke up his ass right now, but my partner has the most beautiful penis.
Look at his eyes lighting
placid
up.
And not.
Like he's literally.
And I'm like sometimes he'll just be walking around and I'm like, damn boy, like he should be at the nude beach, but he ain't allowed to go.
Not without you. Okay, well that's my thing I need to tick off this year is get naked at a beach.
Okay.
Guys, you heard it here first.
There
and
you
first
go.
things first is I'm gonna be free. Well, I think because I got my surgery, I have my boobs done. I'm getting more confident in my body. Like, I'm not comfortable that much, but like, I feel like I just need to like get the freedom.
And your new hair, how's that all going?
Oh yeah, my faux red hair. Is that what it's called? It's fake. Yeah, it's good. I've just got regrowth at the moment. That's why I'm wearing a headband. But I love it. I feel like it's more my personality.
I love
that.
Like
I feel like you left and I didn't know I had a life crisis. I didn't know who I was without you. And I was like, you know what?
Do I shave my hair or do I dye it?
Yeah, do I dye it or shave it? And so
have you ever done a pixie cut?
Ew!
What?
Me with a pixie cut?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
What you mean, mate?
No way. I
Really?
would look so lesbian. So lesbian.
But you are so lesbian right now.
I'm in my lesbian era, okay? But I like my femininity. I like being a femme lesbian. It's the best.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Yeah, see, look, change my identity as well. You know what? Maybe I'll change my name next. I may be in a life crisis right now. You fucking leave me for 4 weeks, and this is what's happened. You dumb.
You're dumb. That's a good one. Well, look, I mean, I think, you know, I had a life crisis once when I was working way too hard for Baz Luhrmann and I shaved my head and pierced both of my ears and I came to work the next day and he was like, what the fuck happened? He was like, I did not hire a mole rat. And I was like, well, we're here and we're ready to work and I'll never do it again. So I'm not advising it.
Oh my God. A mole rat. We didn't work with him.
I'll send you the photo. Don't worry.
Oh, and I can just imagine, shaved head. 2-piece ears. You might as well just wear a silver chain and wear some like fucking FUBU or
And with
Dada.
this forehead, you don't shave your head. No, you know, not with this forehead.
Did you have a nice bald head though?
It wasn't bald. It was like a number 2. So I had hair.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Thank God it's not number 2, number 1.
No. I was giving like
Giving Justin Timberlake.
I was giving midlife crisis, actually, for sure. I was giving midlife crisis.
Hopefully next week I don't come back with a bald head.
Can you just come in with a pixie wig anyway, just to, to get the story out there? Let's do that.
Let's do it.
I'll come in a bald cap and you come pixie wig.
Every week we come with a new wig and a new personality.
New personality.
I
can't. Oh, well, look, that's a good place to wrap it. I'm looking forward to seeing what you come in with next week.
It's like that whole TikTok. It's like Barb.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Also, speaking of, I'm calling you Barb. It's Nicki Minaj. But speaking of TikTok, next week I want you to catch me up on some of this TikTok drama. Like, there is so much stuff going down online that I feel like I've been away from the drama, and I feel like you're all across it. So maybe next week I'm going to pick your brain.
I got a mind map ready to go. Like,
let's do it.
Let's go. And it's all lesbian drama. Plus, maybe like one straight dude, but like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. All right, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for listening to First Things First.
And if you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a little review.
And if you want us to cover anything, even if it's the lesbian drama, reach out via our socials. My handle is at Brooke.Bletton. And Matty's handle is at It's Matty Mills.
UMOP have a deadly NAIDOC week. Make sure you get out there to a community event. It's on all week from Sunday to Sunday. So enjoy yourself, get amongst the community. And if you need any help with what's going on, the local events, hit me up. I'll link you. Bye.
Bye.